do a little something for us. I think we can. I think we can. What about you, Tasha?
I think we
You
can.
think we can? Yeah, yeah, we can do that. Um, so this has been a heck of a week. I watched a movie yesterday called The Ride.
Right.
The Ride. And it was about a BMX biker.
Okay.
His name, what was his name? John? I can't remember exactly what his name was, but I guess he's a big BMX biker.
Okay.
And he was in foster care growing up. And
Okay.
then a couple chose to adopt him, take him in. He probably, I want to say, he was a teenager,
That's
way
a hard
older
thing to
than
do.
what most people would take children into their homes at. So,
About 15, 16.
yeah, he was damaged.
Right.
He had a lot of past trauma.
Okay.
The couple was a white man, a white woman, and a black man. Ludacris played the father.
Oh, okay.
So, watching this movie, the boy grew up um, in the Aryan Brotherhood.
Really?
Yes. So for him to go to a household that had a black person in it, he was kind of like, nah, he couldn't really relate.
Wow.
No, it's not that he couldn't really. It wasn't his people. He was a white boy.
Oh,
So
he
was Caucasian also.
Okay.
So he grew up. He lived with this black man. They struggled for a minute. Um, he ended up teaching the kid how to ride a bike.
Oh, wow.
And he was like, "Why are you doing this?"
At 15.
Yeah, he was like, "Well, no." He asked the man, why was he helping him? Why was he doing that? Was he a little project?
Right.
And as time went on, and it explained that he chose that child. The black man chose this child.
Really?
He chose that child because he felt like that child was most similar to what his situation was growing up.
Okay, so he can relate to that.
And he said that everybody needed a second chance.
That's true.
So yes, he knew that this kid had a swastika on his ear.
Wow.
Yes, he knew that this kid did not like black people. Yes, he knew that this child was considered a bad seed. But he knew that people also viewed him like that. And he wanted to help this child. So he did. This little kid wanted to ride this bike. He kept seeing these people ride, these other children at his school ride their bikes, doing, BMS cross. And so he just kept looking. And one day, the father bought him a bike. All right, 7 minutes, Justin. We waiting. Knowledge. We waiting, knowledge. The father said, he went out and bought him a bike. He saw him eyeing this bike one day. He had a BM. No, he went in his bedroom, told him it's time to go to sleep, snatched the magazine from him because the kid had a bad attitude. But when he walked out the room, he saw it was a BMX magazine.
Okay.
So he got to look and he like, yeah, let me do something for him.
Right.
And he got him a bike.
Good.
So he got the boy a bike, and the boy was like, that's when he's like, why are you doing this? Am I like a project for you? And he was like, man, you know what? Fuck all this. I ain't got to do shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I gotta be nice to you.
And the kid took to riding this bike. Man, let me tell you, he caught him out there riding a bike one night, and he couldn't ride a bike. He couldn't even stand it up.
Wow.
So he took him out one morning, taught him how to ride a bike, and he was like, "Why are you doing this?" He said, "Because this is something you should have learned to do 10 years ago."
Right, exactly.
Once you learn, you'll be all right. But the kid, he took to riding this bike, and in him riding this bike, he became a famous BMX rider. And it was so instantaneously. Like, this is what that boy was born to do. This is what that child was born to do.
Okay.
So he went to a skate park one day, and they saw his brother, who's also in the Aryan Nation. And they saw his brother, and they jumped on the black man. the brother's friends, and the brother kept trying to get him because that was his kid brother. But they end up jumping on Ludacris and putting him in the hospital, and the white boy just felt so bad.
Right.
You know, the kid. I'm not going to call him the white boy. I'm going to call him the kid. He just felt really bad. Okay. And so when he came home, you know, he went in there. He had bought Ludacris a gift, and it was a ceramic. And it had a black bird. No, he bought it.
Oh, okay.
It was like maybe a soap dish or something. Oh, something to hold keys in. It was just a little dish.
Right.
And it had a black bird and it had a white bird. And they were sitting face to face looking at each other. And then it was just a little dish. Right. And I think he looked like that was the most touching gift he had ever received. Right. So he went in there and he told the boy, he went in the kid's room. He said, well, where is it? Where's John at? And he was like, he's in his room. I think he's just a little too embarrassed to give it to you, himself. So he went in there, took the gift in there. And he said, stand up. And he said, why?
He's talking to the young man. Okay.
He said, stand up.
Okay.
And he stood up and he walked over and he wrapped his arms around this little boy. And this little boy wrapped his arms around him.
He never felt that love before,
and he just never felt that love. And he just called.
It takes a lot for an adult to give a teenager the love they need. You know, when a child has to.
Man, can you imagine how hard it had to be for the both of them?
Yeah.
You know, when you get to loving. It's called The Ride.
Ludacris in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he, you know, time went on. The kid. Okay. Knowledge. I'm having somebody come get you right now.
I'm gonna want to talk about this. It says 2 AME Zion pastors faced up to 20 years in prison for pimping the pulpit and the federal government. How do churches do things like that?
Wait a minute, read that again.
It says 2 AME Zion pastors faced up to 20 years in prison for pimping the pulpit and the federal government.
How did they pimp the pulpit?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
And the federal government, how did this happen?
Exactly. Like,
I need to know. I have so many questions.
Exactly.
Yes, they keep books. But see, this is the thing. Usually AME churches are really fairly large churches and are, you know, kept very well.
Right.
I know growing up, our family church, we, when my uncle, who was pastor of our church, passed away, and we had another big pastor from here in Detroit came to work for our church before he was so big, he ended up laundering all of our money. We lost our family church. So, you know what I'm saying? It happens. Yeah, it most definitely happened. And you definitely have a lot of crooked pastors, middle of the crowd, things like that.
Conspiracy charges after searching the loans under the false pretenses. Like, why would you do that?
You know, they didn't care.
And if your segregation, if your congregation is giving their 10%, you know, their tithes.
Because when we tithe, hey Sergio, how you doing? Hi, Bad Mama Jamma and Cuz, how y'all doing? You know, a lot of times churches, the congregation, they trust their preacher, you know, and in trusting their preacher, a lot of times, well, I'm not going to say a lot of times, some of the times, you know, they're trusting in the wrong person. They're trusting in the wrong person, and that's just what it is, you know.
But the money, I think that they're, like I said, the tithing.
Right.
Is supposed to take care of the church. That's what I was raised.
The tithing is supposed to take care of the church. Hey, Black, how you doing?
You know, I don't know exactly where it fits in the church and where it fits into the Bible. You know, especially if you're having a building fund. Okay,
yeah.
If they're having a building fund, then I shouldn't be seeing leaks in the bathroom, or you know.
This is true, but are people actually contributing to the building fund?
I mean,
because if they're not contributing to the building fund, then I can understand while you still seeing leaks in them bathrooms. But a lot of times people don't understand a building fund does not mean just to take care of what's going on inside the building, the repairs and things like that. A building fund means, hey, we need to pay this rent. Hey, we need to pay this DTE.
The church
hey,
it's asking for this money for certain things.
Yeah.
That money should go on the things you're asking for.
Yeah. But that right, and a building fund is for the building. It's not building up. It's for the building.
Repair of the building.
Not just repairs. That's what I'm trying to say. People think it's only repairs. It's not just repairs. It's to pay rent. It's to pay DTE. It's to do all of that. It's a building fund.
Oh, okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So we would like to welcome our guests. We're going to give them a chance to disrobe and get everything together, and then we're going to get right to it. Hey, best friend.
Hey, y'all, how you doing?
Yeah. So yeah, that's what it is. With so it's not always just you're gonna still have raggedy buildings because guess what? People aren't tithing what they're supposed to tithe. Some people don't tithe at all, and rent still got to be paid. DTE still got to be paid. Wine still got to be bought. So do them little cricket things. They still got to be bought.
You're talking about the blood of Jesus and the body of
I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. There's got to be bought. They're not giving it to us for free. They're not giving it to the church for free. So, shit.
Well, I was just wondering. I say, why you don't do things like that in the name of Jesus? You shouldn't do things like that or take things from people if you're supposed to be here to help people.
This is true. But most people are takers. We live in a world full of takers.
But we need more givers.
You don't have to put it on if you don't want to, but you can pull the mic maybe a little closer.
Doing well. Thank you for asking.
Well.
Hello,
Please. What's going on?
Okay, so we would like to welcome our special guest today. Together. So we would like to definitely welcome our special guest, Knowledge Born Truth Alive, Master Barber and Poet Extraordinaire. And guess what, y'all? That's my best friend. My best friend. That's my best friend.
Yeah, like I've known since we were in single digits.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
What's in single digits?
I got a whole rabbit's ass on me.
We just go. No, it's blonde.
It's blonde.
It's blonde.
Hell no! I ain't been having no fun. I say blondes have fun. I ain't been having no fun.
You say we have no fun.
You just
Each
put
one of
that
these
blonde.
like trying to tell you a story.
Yeah, I'm sure. Shit.
Definitely that is.
No way, we chilling. So
Yeah.
Talk to our audience. Tell them a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you're based at, what you do, and
First of all, my name is Knowledge Born Truth Alive. Closer individuals who prefer to be in knowledge.
Okay.
I'm a Detroit-bred, Detroit-based artist.
Okay.
I do poetry, hip hop, spoken word, mentor, plethora of things. I'm also a barber, master barber in the Detroit area as well. I'm located on Nasty Cuts, which is Grand River and Lobster.
You say nasty cuts?
No, not Nasty Cuts.
That is a good little name, though.
My cut's nasty, son. Nasty, son. It's like catching the flu, son. I'm trying to tell you, sick. No, it's actually nappy.
Nappy cuts, okay.
It's actually nappy cuts, right?
Nappy cuts, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Get your nappy cut right.
Okay.
So, how long have you been doing barbering? How long have you been barbering?
I've been barbering over 25 years.
Oh wow!
Right.
Now, I thought about it the other day. I was like, wow, that's crazy. Because like one of the kids that I used to cut, as a child, just had their first child.
Wow!
So I was just like, wow.
That's a long time.
Either they're growing up really fast or I'm getting old. I'd like to think that
Really fast.
Right.
they're just growing
Really
up
fast, best friend. You getting out really fast.
I'm just saying.
It's okay. It's
So
okay.
where was your very first cut? Like, where were you at in your very first cut?
The actual
Very,
really first
very,
cut?
yes, sir. I'm talking about when you knew you wanted to cut some hair.
Oh, that was easy. I got tired of my dad. Timmy, can we use
you?
Yes, you can.
I got tired of my dad. Timmy and the fuck out of us, man. Shout out to my dad. I love you, Dad.
Shout out to Fred, girl.
You are the man.
He is.
He is the man who got me motivated to talk real.
Cut his
No.
Or
own
did you start on someone else's hair?
I started off cutting my brother's hair.
Okay, so he was brave enough that you started.
No. It was either me or Dad.
Oh, Dad. Okay.
I wanted to cut your hair.
Okay.
Dad felt like he had to cut your hair.
Oh, okay.
Off.
Okay.
Off.
Classic balls.
Man.
Oh, wow.
Like, I know what it feels like to have a bowl put on my head and have a haircut.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
such a disfiguring thing.
Oh, wow.
So those bows inspired you to become the master barber that you are.
And after I got off into it and started going to school, shout out to Michigan Barber College, Wayne River, Georgia.
Okay.
And then two is Dr. Ring. You know, it's to Mr. Ring, but he was doctor. That's because that's why I learned intricate science of it. It's more than just cutting hair.
Right.
It's health,
Right.
body, skincare.
Right.
You know, so it's a lot more than that. And what is actually allowed me to do is utilize it as a tool to be able to get closer to people.
Right.
You know, I'm entrusted with making people feel better about themselves, and that's a pretty big responsibility.
Yes, it most
You know,
definitely.
I mean, people come in off the street. I've never been a day in my life confide to me, like just within that 15, half an hour to an hour time that you spend in my chair, depending on what you want.
You know, barbers, bartenders, you know, they tend to
Oh yeah, I know a whole bunch of information.
do that.
A whole bunch of information.
I know a whole bunch of information I don't even know.
Because like my children
Uh-huh.
that get in my chair, I get in their world.
Wow.
I ask all kind of questions.
What age group what's the first cut you think a young man should have? At what age?
I don't think any young man or girl should get their hair cut before 3.
Before 3?
Before 3. Give your hair at least enough time to grow in to what's
The texture.
let it differentiate.
You got a
What's
cup?
gonna-
You need a cup?
Heck yeah, you want to get cut?
I'm gonna
That's
find
cool.
you a cup. I'm gonna go see if they got some.
You see, I'm snacking.
I know. I see.
That's what I do.
I see.
Y'all probably at that time of the day.
Oh, that time of snacks.
Yes, this is my guilty pleasure day.
Oh, okay.
I get to all the BS I want to eat.
Yes. Okay, well, let's talk about your spoken word, sir.
Oh, yeah. That stuff.
Yeah. Yes, sir. That stuff.
Mhm.
Yes. Tell me about it. What was your first poem? What grade?
Wow. What was the name of my first one?
Can you recite it?
Hell no.
I'm trying to say you forgot about it already.
I forgot it per se.
We
Okay.
don't have any
But-
cups. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna
Was
drink
it about a girl? Was it about a mountain? What was it about?
I think it was about the girl. Remind me about the girl.
a girl in a mountain.
Probably maybe the girl was big as mine.
You stupid.
I'm just saying. Or maybe my crush was as big as a mountain.
Mm-mm.
That's what it was, I'm sure.
That's
Who
what
Who
it was.
was the first girl you wrote a poem about?
I have no idea.
Who was the first girl you gave a poem to?
Now, see, that's one thing I've never done.
No?
I never wrote poetry for people.
No.
Okay.
Never.
All right.
Never. Because, I mean, look, I've been a lot of girls.
Yeah.
Even more than women. Even more than ladies, you know, so crazy stuff.
Okay.
But look, every last one of them, when they find out you're a poet,
Uh-huh.
write a poem for me.
Wow.
Write a poem for me. Can you write a poem?
I said you're gonna have to use
Have
it.
Have I ever obliged?
Yes.
I'll put it to you like this.
He's an oblige.
No, not really.
He's unobligable.
I wouldn't say that.
Who you talking to?
Don't say that. No, what I say, if you made it into my poetry,
Uh-huh.
it was either a good or a bad thing. Either you motivated a piece to come out of it
Okay.
due to my experience and actions with you, or you motivated a piece due to my experiences and my interactions with you. So,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? So, you know.
Dang, best friend. I'm just gonna ask which fuck piece of my end because I know it's
Which one you
Hold on.
And I know it's
She know a couple of them. She know a couple of them.
Oh, okay. You inspired a few, honey.
man.
Look, check this out. I love this lady, right?
Okay.
I love this lady.
Okay.
But she is a horrible person.
I already said that about my friend.
Did y'all hear that?
But I love her.
Yes.
I love her and I will defend her to the end, right or wrong. I'm with her. I'm gonna talk to her.
I'm not a horrible person. I just did some horrible things.
Oh. Okay. All right, best friend.
I might be able to live with that one.
Okay. As long as you
I might
can
be
live
able
with
to live
that.
with that statement.
As long as you can live with
For
that.
now. For now.
Oh, wow.
Well, no, seriously. So it's like spoken word, like man, it's opening so many doors for me.
Did you start in school or something?
You know what? My stepmom actually introduced poetry.
Okay.
She used to write a lot,
Okay.
and I was a rambunctious child. We'll put it that way. Mischievous, maybe.
You weren't.
I guess
You were a better child.
But so anyway, she would write the book, and like sometimes every once in a while she would let me read it. Right? I'd be like, okay, cool, dope. Like this is like just the level of imagery, and you know, and the ability to be able to pull certain thoughts together by the arrangement of certain words or the patterns of certain words. You know, I was drawn to it, and what it wound up doing was becoming it became an avenue or a voice that, or avenue that, or yeah, basically an avenue that I felt my voice was heard or meant something. So what I couldn't say to you, I could say in a pen, with a pen and a pad.
Onto the paper.
Not even just emotions, but you know, opinions of things. You know, just my own personal viewpoints of things.
Right.
You know, in my perfect world that I want to create for myself. You know.
Well, I hear people say that poetry is a lot like rap. Is that true?
Well, how would you define rap?
That's not.
I think it's a loaded question. Like, poetry is a lot like rap. I would have to say that rap is a form of poetry. But so is talking, and so is breathing, and so is dancing, and you know, it's anything that you can find the connection to, that you can connect to.
It's all art.
You know, it's a level. There's a rhythmic vibe about it. We, as being the people that we are, vibrate at a certain, you know what I'm saying,
energy,
frequency, and megahertz. So it's just being able to tap into that.
Okay.
So
I'm sorry, I'm being nosy in your snack bag.
See why I see in my step?
Is that the whole shebang?
Yeah, I just got put up on
Oh
there.
my God!
I just got.
Let me see.
Look, no, because you're gonna open them.
No, I'm not.
Yes, because you're gonna feel
I
the
want to
title.
show them.
See, hold on, ladies and gentlemen out here, let me tell you, do not fall for your best friend's shenanigans. But see, she wants me to show her the bag because she knew. Look, they were in another bag, inside of another bag, and it was only the corner, like this corner is showing. And she was like, "Are those the whole thing?" Like, don't open my chips.
I'm not gonna open your chips, best friend. Damn, you got a whole nother bag in there. But
They're not the whole shebang.
Give me the shebang.
Look, somebody gifted me with those. Shout out to Perez.
Whole shebang. If y'all don't know, these is the classic
Man, it was the truth.
prison.
It was the truth. Oh my God.
These
Look,
are the
I just got put up on
prison snacks.
Wait,
These
the who?
chips.
The-
These chips.
Wait a minute, hold a minute. I missed a very vital word. What did you say?
These are the classic prison snacks.
Why the hell how they prison snacks?
Because they
Wait a minute.
started. Listen, I'm
So you
telling
mean
y'all.
these chips that I've been put up on that, you know?
They started.
They're not even for free
They
people?
were making them at first and selling them only in the prison system.
So if you eat them, are you going to be like, give me
Right.
free?
So when you went to commissary, this is what you got.
Well,
so a potato chip, and these were the best ones that they have. You know, they
where is
say
this?
so.
Where is that?
All
Where is
prisons.
this?
county jails,
All
everything.
prisons. How many
Yep.
prisons you been in? Because I've been in a couple.
Best friend.
Oh, wow.
Best friend.
I'm just
It's
saying.
been a long time since you've been to prison, okay?
I'm saying
Oh, wait a minute. No.
that was anyway.
Okay.
Moving right along.
Moving right along. But that's what these are. These, the whole shebang.
Okay.
They are the whole shebang. They are freaking awesome.
No, I tasted
Go
them
get
one
you
time.
some. Here.
And I've been looking for them damn chips ever since. And it's been about
Okay. They sell them at the grocery store on Linden and Schaefer.
good.
Okay, the whole thing.
The whole shebang.
Shameless plug. Get us some more. Y'all need to be a sponsor now. Straight up.
But yes, for real though, they are prison chips.
They're not. They're just very good.
They
chips.
are prison
They
chips.
just happen
They
to be
can't.
available in your local commissary if you're shopping there.
I can't teach.
By that way.
Okay. Oh my God. They good though. Them damn chips is good as hell.
Shout out to my people that's incarcerated.
Yes. What you gotta do? Keep your head up.
Justifiably and unjustifiably.
Right.
And come home. You know?
The
thing is when you come home.
Well, what's the beef? What's the beef about? I heard about that.
Okay.
And
You're
So
very,
you
very
have
pretty,
it.
by the way.
Why you telling me? You
have it. Oh,
Jesus Christ.
You know what am I cookies?
America, the country built on the genocide of the one race and the enslavement of another.
Can you read that again?
America, the country built on the genocide of one race and the enslavement of another.
And the enslavement of another.
What do you feel
I can
about
see that.
one?
That's actual fact. It's history.
Okay, so-
explain that.
Since we are actually getting into
Black
History Month,
I'm sorry.
Black History Month.
Yeah.
My history is black every day.
Every day.
365 days a year,
Yes.
and in leap year, 365. So, but in getting into that, before we actually expound on that meme, we are going to tell you what we have going on.
Where we got boy?
So, We Three Queens Community Outreach Organization, we are doing a youth art contest for Black History Month. So what we want is for your child to do a drawing on a famous quote, whether it is Martin Luther King's "I Have a Dream," whether you're going to go with Poe's "Excuses Are Tools of Incompetence," whatever they want to do, draw something to match that piece. We will be picking 2 children. We'll have 2 categories. We'll have the children from the age 5 to 11, and then we'll have 12 to 18. So we'll have 2 scholarships going out, 2 scholarships. Now keep in mind, we will be selling raffle tickets, 1 for 5 or 5 for 15. 5 for 15 or 1 for 5. So if you guys want to purchase raffle tickets, you can get in touch with myself, or you can get in touch with Tosha on Facebook. She is Change is Good Lockhart. We'll get you the tickets. The basket that we have will be a basket for an adult. It is full of goodies. Definitely full of goodies, and you got your spirits.
She specified it's a basket for
adults.
Yes, it's got your spirits, and it's the basket is valued at $158, and so you can win this basket. Get your raffle tickets. Okay, so now we're going to expound on this thing. America, the country built on the genocide of one race and the enslavement of another. Best friend, let's hear your thoughts on it.
I mean, it's history.
I've been waiting on this.
It's history.
Yes,
the genocide of one.
Mm-hmm.
It's not hard to figure out who that group of indigenous people are,
Mhm.
And then the slavery of another,
Right.
our people. I mean, it's the American way.
It is. It is.
It's an American way.
Change
Can it be changed? Sure.
throughout our history.
Oh, absolutely, it can be changed. Absolutely, it can be changed. Would you like to know how?
Yes, sir.
Tear up the goddamn Constitution.
Say it again.
Tear up the goddamn Constitution.
And who will rewrite it?
Who rewrite it? What rewrite what?
The Constitution.
Why we gotta rewrite the Constitution?
He didn't say rewrite it. He said tear it up.
Yeah,
Get rid
It
of
says
it.
tear it
Let's
up.
be done with it.
Because then at that point in time, then we could at least come together to agree upon things that make sense and discuss this so-called law of the land. My thing is, just because you are willing to eradicate an entire race of people does not give you ownership to something. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Put you in that position for ownership.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Who gives you the authority?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You by being a settler. A settler means that you go wherever the hell you can set up shop at.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, are these settlements being done honorably? Is your ways and actions, and we know throughout history, this speaks for itself. So I'm not gonna beat a dead horse.
Right.
This ain't the hey, blank, read this shit.
They just really came over here and exacted their squatter rights and did it by any means necessary.
I mean, it just had us build everything.
Squatters have rights.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah, squatters have rights.
Wow.
Let somebody come and squat in your home and let them stay there and get a piece of mail there longer than a certain amount of time. Guess what? You are legally evicted.
But you also have the ass kicking. The ass kicking.
Yeah, that leaves you.
That
That leaves you to get the original.
Y'all see how she just trying to Shanghai my shebang, right?
Oh no, I'm gonna make some of that before you go. I ain't saying nothing. I like the whole shebang.
No, like seriously. And the reason I said tear the Constitution, and yes, I'm crunchy. I'm snacking. This is what I do. Why are you gonna keep trying to amend these laws and ratify these laws when they're based upon an original construct that is written and said that we are slaves, and that there's a difference of people? You understand what I'm saying? This ain't where this is not for us. I mean, it's for us because we built it.
Right.
It's us because we financed it.
Right.
But the whole way it was manifested wasn't righteous.
Right.
Never has been, never will be.
Mm.
The corporation or the beast, it feeds upon us.
Right.
It's not going to ever feed us.
Right.
Many times they'll tell you that our government is a democracy, when in all fact, if you look at everything goes on, it's definitely a dictatorship. If it was not a dictatorship, our votes would matter.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
I agree with
So
that.
you can't keep pissing on our leg and telling us to rain when we saw you cock your leg up and pee on us.
Right.
And this is what America is good at. This is the business of America. This is the corporation of America. It's sad, but
The things are being seen at face value now. We see things now that back in the day we didn't see before.
oh, we saw it.
And
Like what?
I'm just saying things in general where things have changed for us as far as we can go in restaurants and things now.
Oh, well,
We can't
thank
go
you,
in-
Master.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, some type of things is just little things. But what would you want to see change? That never make a big change for real. Like, okay, if this one thing is for America to change.
Tear the goddamn Constitution.
That's it. That's it for him. Tear the Constitution up. All right.
I won't believe
What
it.
about you, Tasha? What do you
I won't believe nothing any of them says until that is done.
Right.
That will show the people that you are willing to start over fairly.
Right. But we still have
The forefathers were slave owners too.
Yes,
Okay,
this
so
is true.
a whole new
This is
community.
true. I mean, but if you think that, see,
But if you tear the Constitution, but if you tear the Constitution up, you can do that.
And we have to try to make new laws.
Let me ask you a question. Who says you need the government?
No one said we need government. But
To
how
the
are we
people-
on order though with our government? How are we going to be able to talk to other countries and negotiate with other people if we don't negotiate?
dignitaries. That's when you have your dignitaries. That's when you have your. Okay, put it like this: we're in a neighborhood.
Okay.
We as Black people, we dwell in our neighborhoods.
Right.
When I was growing up, I lived in a neighborhood where one parent would stand on the porch and yell for the other parent. Was everything they yelling? Was it kosher? No. Sometimes they wanted a cigarette. Sometimes it was send my kid home.
Right.
Sometimes it was, can you do this or can you drive me there? But we knew that those parents communicated. Okay. Case in point. Some parent on my block told me it was okay for me to drive my big wheel down the middle of the street. I drove my big wheel down the middle of the street along with her kid.
Right.
And then the one parent snatched me out the street off my big wheel, and I'm like, "What? Miss Williams said I could do it."
Right.
Got back on my big wheel in the middle of the street, got snatched off by another parent,
Okay.
taken home. Mary, she riding her big wheel down the middle of the street. Now I'm getting my ass beat by my mama. But what happened was along the way, you didn't.
But did you ever tell your mother what Miss Wilson said?
Yes.
Okay,
And my mama beat Miss Wilson
That's all I'm
ass.
saying there. That's
My
what
mama
Wilson
beat
did.
that lady ass. But it was
That was
because
bad
it was the
leadership.
principle of it. You don't tell my daughter. See, and my thing, she's like, "Well, why did you do this?" And I'm like, I got a license plate. She said it came out the Wheaties box.
But see,
Fuck your license
but see,
plate.
that's a double-edged sword.
Mhm.
Because now, don't say shit to my child.
Right.
Now, instantly, the village is dead.
Well, it's not don't say shit to my child, but if
Right.
you're gonna lead my child, lead her in the right way.
Because like
Right.
this, I'm like,
But she told her own child that he could ride in the street.
and
But
So-
what she should have said, well, my baby can ride in the street, but I don't know about you. You should ride over here.
You should go and ask your mother.
That's true too.
But like I said, we were on big wheels. I want to say I had to be about 4, 5 at the most.
Right.
But getting back,
Mhm.
government is supposed to be formulated by the people.
For the people.
You know what I'm saying? At no time should the people ever be afraid of their government.
Exactly.
Howard said, "Tear up the goddamn
You know
Constitution."
what I'm saying?
That's right, Howard. Hey, Howard, how are you?
You know what I'm saying? I mean, just on some real shit. The people are never supposed to be afraid of the government. If anything, the government should always be in fear of the people.
Right.
The people is who empowers it.
Okay.
Mhm.
What if there was no people? What is the government governing?
Yeah, right. Where is the government governing? Yes, that's
But see,
true.
this is the thing. The government, even though we can come together as a people,
Mhm.
a million of our people,
Mhm.
our skin complexions, our melanation
Right.
could storm the White House.
Man, we've been
And we
dead.
will all be
Oh
shot
my
dead.
God, you had
But if you let the people that's their pigmentation storm the White House, oh, it's okay, it's all good, nothing.
Because they got the
It's just a
resources.
rally. They can do this. It's in the Constitution for them. But then the reason that we have it's not built for us. In the U.S. Constitution, we are 3/4 of a human being.
3/5
3/5 of a human being.
property.
What gave them that? Where did
What?
you get that from?
Which
I'm serious. Like, how did you get that number? Where did you
It all
get
depends
that
on
from?
how strapping you were of a species
of
of
a
species.
stud.
Yeah. Did you have big hips? Did you have?
Oh. Did you have big hips? Did you have
Full
what?
legs? Did you have supple breasts?
The childbearing hips.
You know, some childbearing hips.
Mhm.
Come over and grab her like, oh yeah, you look like you can get plenty of babies out of her.
Things you see about things like that. How do you tell if a person is childbearing? You don't know how many kids they can have.
They say as long as they hips as wide as childbearing.
They never saw you as a person, cow, your property.
Right.
It's easy to look at something like that. Go look at a side of beef. Look how many cuts you can get out of it. You're thinking about it grazing.
We are not people. We were not people to them. So in that, they treated us as property. They treated us. They still do. You know, and that's just what it is. But knowledge.
Yes.
I was wondering, when was the last time you wrote poetry?
Wrote?
Mm-hmm.
A few weeks ago.
Okay. When was the last time you debuted a new poem?
Yeah, we don't have last time you featured anything.
I think a few weeks ago.
Where at?
My brother Drew Hill spot.
Well, you know, Jew.
Drew, I didn't say Hill.
You said. Look, you said. I was like, oh, wait a minute. I thought he said Drew Hill. I'm like, they left together.
Drew Hill, hell no.
Oh, yes.
No, my brother Drew Hill spot.
Come on.
Jew.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Well,
that's what's up.
for a minute I was mad at my pen. I was wanting to give myself a break from poetry.
Okay.
You know.
So
We're
we're speaking with our audience, and
No
we're
more
letting
funky
them
stuff.
know that you are a poet, and we got a few people watching here. A few
Who
people
watching?
watching there.
Who is it? Come on here.
Howard is on here. Canada is on here right now.
How y'all doing? That's right.
Just
right,
was
brother.
on here.
Tell that mother.
Can we get you to
Whoa, you can do stuff like
do
new stuff?
known for us? Yes.
Whatever.
World premiere.
Yeah.
New shit.
Hey, man. I missed them days.
Hey.
No,
It's been a long time. The scene just ain't what it used to be anymore.
The world is not the same.
It's so
See,
tainted.
I think like poetically now
Mhm.
I'm in a different place mentally with my art now than what I was before. It was before. I think it was more so being able to work out my aggression, you know, or place the anger, things of that nature.
Okay.
You know, give a voice to those who I felt deserved a voice or didn't have a voice or didn't have the gall or the bravery to stand alone with that voice. So now, I think it's more geared towards being vulnerable.
Okay.
You know, and finding the strength within that.
Okay.
You know, I was always a person that I always looked at being vulnerable as a weakness, and it's not a weakness.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
It's actually one of the highest points of humility that you can have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and I'm exploring different aspects.
So it only took you years to get to that point. Huh?
Hey, look, check this out, sister. Don't matter when you get on the boat, just get on there.
Get on the boat.
Just get on. Ride the wave.
That's why she can't have any of my old days.
No bank deal and
Watch.
okay, now how did you get your name? What made you start inspiring to knowledge? Did someone give it to you, or or something that you just took upon yourself?
Well, I gave it to myself, and as the years progressed, I added on.
So, and did you have anything to do with that name?
No.
Oh.
No.
Did you meet him as knowledge?
No. We
She
met he
actually
was
knows me
9
by
years
my
old.
She actually knows me by my government name.
Oh,
The whole government name.
Okay.
Government.
Moving right along.
Moving.
But
Hey, Clifton, I'm going to move.
I used to come under another name.
What was it?
Oh,
Come on now, you gotta tell
Justice Divine.
Justice Divine.
Yes, this was the name that I used to go on.
Okay.
But what it is that I found myself in a situation to where it really made me look at myself
Mm-hmm.
in my rawest form.
Okay.
And with these keys that I was given,
Mm-hmm.
which was Supreme Mathematics and Supreme Alphabet,
Okay.
I was able to unlock the things inside of me that was a mystery to myself.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? To be able to allow me to tap into a greater aspect of my own mind, to be able to express that outwardly.
So shout out to the nations of gods and earth.
Okay.
You know, so within those principles
Mm-hmm.
and that we teach, one of the foundating things is knowledge.
Okay.
Well, what's possible without it?
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying? The acknowledgement of anything is impossible without it.
Mm-hmm.
The originality of anything is impossible without it.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to make sure that with everything I do, I represent and remind myself of that foundation of all things, all things that's in existence, because this is what knowledge is. It's the essence of all things. It's the fundamental building block that you utilize to bridge any and every and all gaps.
Okay.
So when did the evolution between your two names, between justice and knowledge, come about? About what year was that?
About 1997ish.
Okay. And what year did you pick up the supreme mathematics and knowledge of self?
You're born equality, 96.
Okay.
96.
All right.
96.
All right.
You know, our praises be to the God, Lord Jalil Basim Allah and Dr. Bahu is God Allah. These are two guys that I built, you know what I'm saying, that allowed me to be able to meet myself.
Okay. All right. So we definitely appreciate you telling us a little bit about yourself and about your background. And so, you know, I see you snacking again, but he trying
I told y'all what I just
he trying to get rid of them chips while I get to them again.
Smacking down.
That's right. I had to.
trying to take my chips
Okay.
off.
So if we could just, you know, it's getting close to the end of the show, and if we could just get you to show them a little bit of your craft and give them information if they would like to feature or book you, we'd love for you to do that.
Yes, please.
She's just trying to get me to put out my chips, y'all.
Yeah.
No, I don't have to do that. Like, he would really give me these chips if I really wanted them. Trust me, he would, because I would give them them.
Okay. Okay. So, spoken word. I'm gonna read you something I've been working on. Haven't committed it to memory yet, but we're getting there. Still work in progress.
Okay.
Shout out to the 5 Horsemen.
He said 5 horsemen. Okay.
Shout out to Artist Village, Detroit.
Yes, baby, home stage. Home stage.
Shout out to Sun Tzu Cadre.
All right.
Shout out to Detroit.
All right.
Chapter of Poets.
Yes.
You know, shout out to everybody listening.
All right.
I am what I am. And for that, I accept myself for being who I am. Despite the fact that most can't see beyond the confusion that exists within their minds, I grew beyond what I was and evolved into the me that not many see or talk to, get to know, try to understand, or even comprehend. And friends come once in a many moon, sheep dressed in wolves' clothing, consoling the thirst of a predator's lust that must be satisfied, and many have tried and even less attempted, and I am tempted to just explode and collapse upon the rubble of what used to be me. The old me. The me that everybody thinks they know so well, me, that predictable me. The selfishly selfless me. The wanting to just be understood me. That everything in life changes but me. The me you refuse to let live beyond your judgment of me, you know that beautiful disaster within me. And if that's not enough, then the serene torment of me. And if that doesn't please you, then box me, cage me, doubt me, and then hate me, all with a smile on your face, and forsake me to the place in your mind that forbids the light of day necessary to grow because it's me.
Let's go, best friend.
All right now.
See, tell the worst of me. Celebrate the malice of the sacrifice of me. All because you are afraid to just naturally be the me you think again.
All right now.
All right, I love it. I love it.
This book,
I love it.
that's hot off the press. So
Right.
ain't too many people get those, you know.
Fresh off the press. Okay. Well, tell them how they can get in touch with you if they would like to book you for a feature or a show or a night.
Y'all can hit me on Knowledge Born Truthful Law. That's 4 words put together. That's knowledge, KNOWLEDGE, born, BROBORN, truth, TRUTH, law, ALLAH. Smash all those words together. You got me. You can find me on just about any streaming platform. It doesn't matter what it is. Facebook. Dig this. You can find me under the name Justin Durham. That's JUSTINDURHAL. But if you still type in Knowledge Born Truthful Law, I pop up.
Okay.
So, don't call me that. Don't call me that. But know that that's where you can reach me.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Yes. We definitely enjoyed that piece. What's the name of that piece again?
You know what? I've yet to
Oh,
give it a name. I know.
Ah, best friend.
I know. Hey, look. Hold on. It might just be called me.
Yeah.
Okay, well, no, it's
something. Yeah.
Ew.
That was sweet.
Well, you know what he said? Get your babies off the street.
Yeah. I knew he was gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? Because look,
Get your babies off the street.
anybody like we were as poets in our youth, we were mentored by a lot of the greats, mainly the last poets personally by hand. I'm talking about everybody. I'm saying everybody, and me especially. I was focused, and I don't like to name my pieces. I really don't. So they was like, you ain't out here having children that don't name them.
Right.
So that's where it's always stuck. So,
Get your babies out the street.
Get your babies out the street. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm getting my babies out the street. It will have. As a matter of fact, the name of the entitlement of this poem is officially me. ...
There you
Me.
go. ...
I love it.
All right.
Well, we thank you for being here, coming to join us.
Anytime.
We will get you back again when we're in more deeper conversations. You guys, if you need to book, you can hit the link going to his fan page that's in the caption. Or, you can contact him directly on Facebook, Instagram. If you need to book and you cannot get in touch with him, you can call his best friend. Don't call me a lot. Don't blow my shit up. But you definitely can, and I will get you to the man with the plan.
If he checks out, I
will get you to the man with the plan. But most definitely. So, again, best friend, we enjoyed you being here. We are looking forward to seeing you display more of your artistry in the coming future because we have been missing it.
Yeah.
I even miss it so much. I take I'm so sick of open mics. Yeah, I'm just saying. That's how much I miss you doing poetry. But I'm glad you're back. I'm glad that you decided to come here and spend some time with us today. We will have them again soon. But guess what, you guys? It is definitely our time to sign off and finish doing what we need to do for the rest of the night.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in. We will see you next week, Monday, 7 p.m. Tosha and her host, Justin, will be here. Yes. So definitely tune in with us. Peace, blessings. I'm Miss Ann.
Tosha with an O.
And that's Tosha with an O. And this is Knowledge Born, and we are out.
She got
Peace.
My chips, y'all.
I got his chips. Turn that one off. Hit that camera over there.
That was fun. Go home and finish eating.
Going home.
Finish
What?
eating. I'm about to snap. Eat myself.